The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests. If you're a sensitive snowflake that may get easily offended, then turn this off immediately. If you want to hear the real truth about the gun culture, then stick around. This is the Armed Citizen Podcast. What is going on, my Go Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast live. We are live as always on YouTube and over on Facebook. So if you're out there in the live chat, go ahead and say something. We don't know you're out there unless you do say something. If you have a question that you would like to ask or a comment you want to get read out loud or whatever, make sure you tag one of us there in the panel and we'll make sure if it is. That was a quick 2 minutes. That's correct. That was a very quick 2 minutes, but it is what it is. I've been calling Minuteman before, but we'll get that if it's relevant to the conversation. If you want to call, yes, you can call into the show or text into the show. Go ahead and utilize the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our great friends Rod and Shelly Gates at theguncleaners.com. And if you're a veteran out there and you're in that hole and you don't know if there's a light or you can't find the light and you need someone to talk to, first of all, call me, email me, text me 24/7. I'm around. I cannot give you medical advice, but I sure as hell could probably be a decent ear and maybe talk you through some stuff. But if you are looking for somewhere that can get you in touch with some medical advice and tell you where to go and all of that, please understand two things. First, you are not alone in this walk. There's a lot of us out there that will walk hand in hand with you. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please contact the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255, the Veteran Crisis Hotline. As always, we're spotlighting the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions or want to find out more information about what it takes to earn the title United States Marine, please visit the website, marines.com. And as always, we are a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network. It is a network of like-minded, pro-freedom, pro-gun, pro-2A podcasts out there, all on one website. So if you're looking for some cool content and podcasts to listen to, please check out selfdefenseradio.net. So I am going to take this off of my ugly mug and bring in the couple guys we've got chilling with this so far tonight. There are links out there for others out there, but right now I'm going to bring in from the untactical Kansas. Here in Arkansas, we're the AR Kansas or the tactical Kansas. But from the untactical Kansas, we've got the chicken man himself. What's up, Gary?
Hey, just relaxing after work and glad to be here with you guys. Spent the weekend jawing with you and everything, so be good to look back and talk about what we saw. So thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. And from the great state of Texas, the quasi shotgun rider, whatever, the tactical virus, leprechaun himself. What's up, Clove? How you doing, man?
Yo. So before we get started, I cut a podcast earlier for those that are interested. Constitutional carry legislation in Texas will hit the House floor Thursday, 10 a.m. Woohoo! It has never made it this far before. As I've said in podcasts previously, and talks previously, ground game, right? And our politicians, elected officials, whatever, have always blamed all these different things. And what I've said all along this session is they don't have any of those things to blame. They don't have the Speaker of the House to blame. They don't have all these other mechanisms, right? And that's a good sign. I've been saying it's a good sign. It's a good sign. Because of those things, it's never made the House floor. And so it will make the House floor. And I'm cautiously optimistic, but I think it's political suicide for them to go against it, especially when you've got Democrats that are co-sponsoring on it. It's political suicide for it to not go through at this point that it's on the floor. So looks like we will be the lucky blackjack, number 21, right? For
there you go.
Permitless carry. We'll see. So if anybody wants to follow up on those bill numbers, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Hit up that podcast, not now, later on. Hit up that and get the skinny on it, and then contact your representatives and go ahead and hit up the senators. I don't think it's going to be a problem getting through the Senate at all. Certainly not a problem with the governor signing it. The House is our hurdle, but it doesn't hurt to call them up as well and let them know, hey, we demand, right? Not that we ask. We don't ask crap from our elected officials. They work for us. We demand that they pass it. So there, I've off my soapbox. Let's have some fun.
All right, well, since you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get on my soapbox for a second. Earlier today, if you guys remember a week or two ago, I put out a video about an Arkansas Senate Bill 298 that was the Sovereignty Act of 2021. Basically, it says that all federal gun legislation that is anti-gun with restriction and all, including NFA and Firearms Act, and everything will be null and void. The state of Arkansas will not be enforced. On top of that, if this does pass, that if a federal agency comes into Arkansas to confiscate or to enforce any such restriction, and you live in Arkansas, whether you're a citizen or a law enforcement, you can be fined and or put in jail by helping them out. It passed the Senate very easily. Today, it left the House committee with a recommendation of due pass, and they will be scheduling a vote on the floor in the House any day now. Could be as early as tomorrow, and looking forward to that. It's basically a two-way sanctuary state and all that, but there's some other stuff that has been filed. Some new bills out there that are amazing for gun rights in Arkansas. So Arkansas is doing a really good job. The first one is HB 1386, to be known as the Arkansas Second Amendment Liberty Safeguards Act, to require state agencies and public officers to disregard unconstitutional overreaches of power and to protect the constitution. It's basically the House version of the one that's going through, getting ready to hand. That's going to be law. I truly do believe it's going to be law. Yeah. Another one is SB 59, to be known as the Intrastate Firearms Protection Act, and to prevent the United States government from regulating the manufacture, assembly, and trade of firearms and ammunition within the borders of Arkansas. Let's see here.
So those are two that Texas also has. They haven't gone to the floor yet, but they are all out of committee. And Wes out there says Oklahoma has SB 631, which is their two-way sanctuary state bill as well. So, kudos to everybody politicians who have put them forward, and everybody who has rallied their politicians, demanded that they do that stuff and have put in the work. It seems to be working. It's great to see.
Yeah. There's another one that was filed, and this is, so you guys know that earlier in the year, one of the first bills that were signed by the governor this year was going to be the Stand Your Ground law here in Arkansas. And this, that, and the other. Well, they've just added another one to it, and it's going to define the vehicle as an extension of a person's home. So basically, we're going to get the castle doctrine on top of Stand Your Ground. So it's going to be an extension of a person's home, and to define the term journey across all applicable laws. So the transport and all of that, good to go. Another one that doesn't make a whole hell of a beans, because we're already constitutional carry state, but I still do get my concealed carry permit for multiple reasons. One, background check for, I've already done that, so I don't have to sit there and wait for an approval. I travel a lot, so it's nice to have that permit that you can say, hey, this, that, and the other. But there is a bill that it's going to pass without any problem. It might even be unanimous. I don't know. But this is going to be SB 171, concerning the fees for a license to carry a concealed handgun and to waive fees for military veterans and active duty United States military personnel. So it used to be active duty. It used to be law enforcement or retired law enforcement and active duty. Now they're going to add veterans to it. So if you are a veteran in Arkansas and you do decide to get your permit, it's probably going to end up being free.
That's the state. Just to clarify, that is the state's fee, right? Not the class you have to go take.
That is correct. Yeah. They're not going to charge you for doing all that. Now, whoever you go get the class from, they're going to charge you whatever,
Right.
the $1,500, whatever they do that.
Right.
But you do not have to send any money to the state for your concealed carry if you're a veteran.
And they may not. I'm sure there's some that trainers or whatever, or whatever, that instructors that probably give a discount or waive the fee, even
especially if you're just renewing it, and all you're doing is coming in to renew your license. And which I'll have to do that here in the next month or two anyways. But if you're just renewing it, then yeah, I don't know anyone that really, charges, because all you're going to do is do whatever. But if you're getting it for the first time, they're going to charge a fee and all that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So once again, very happy with the way Arkansas is going. Obviously, Clover is excited about the possibility of constitutional carry or permitless carry, whatever you want to call it. Gary, do you have anything going on in Kansas that you want to bring up?
As a matter of fact, since we're bragging on our states,
Sure.
have a couple bills that are on the governor's desk that have been passed by the House and Senate. House Bill 2058 recognizes all out-of-state concealed carry permits and allows those who have been licensed to carry a firearm for self-defense to do so lawfully in Kansas. This legislation recognizes visitors to Kansas should not be left defenseless simply by crossing a state line. It also allows individuals who are 18 to 20 years of age to apply for a Kansas concealed carry permit. And it also authorizes the Attorney General to issue an alternative license to carry a concealed handgun to qualified applicants during a declared state of disaster emergency, and creates a restoration of rights process for individuals to reestablish the Second Amendment right to possess a firearm upon expungement of certain convictions. And then substitute House Bill 2089 directs the State Board of Education to establish grade appropriate curricular guidelines to teach firearms safety to K-12 students based on NRA's Eddie Eagle Gun Safe program and or the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks, and Tourism's existing hunter education. So I'm excited about both those bills, and I hope the governor signs them.
Absolutely. So we're going to jump in here real quick, and because I see HBO Matt was there, and somehow
this officially concludes the 2A portion of this podcast. Is that what you're saying?
It does, because unless anybody else has anything else, I mean,
let's have some fun.
You can talk 2A forever, but we had a big weekend in Wanenmacher and Tulsa this weekend. I see HBO Matt was there and somehow had his head in the sand or something because didn't know that we were there.
Yeah, that boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. Which he said he at work. I mean, life happens, I guess, right?
Oh, I hear you. And I'm just joking by saying he had his head in the sand, but no, we were there. We had, 10, 12 people there, and saw Wes was there, and Wes was doing his consumer duties on Saturday, and then was at the OK2A booth all day on Sunday. I think he said that he was there till 5:30, and it was kind of weird because everything was cleared out by the time he left on Sunday. So well after I left, I think I left around 2 or 3 somewhere in there.
Right.
But it was great. Great to see everybody. Got to see Clover and Gary and Snob and Roll Call and Budget and Buck and Armenthea and Stacy, and we got to see Stan with SS Pawn. Saw Mark from Axion/Umarex. Obviously Scott with Celtic Holsters. All the guys and gals that people at Black Rain. All the people that we knew we were going to see and all of that. It was great to see everyone once again. It's been over a year for me to basically see anybody, which was driving me nuts.
And Roll Call did not copy me on wearing shirts the entire weekend. It was wonderful.
I think you guys must have talked ahead of time. There's,
Yes, he threatened me. He threatened me very well on it was either Instagram or on a live chat or on a video. He threatened me.
Or all of them. Yeah.
Sure. Now I had a bad experience, or not a bad experience, but an unpleasant experience. So can since we want this to be lighthearted, can we get that out of the way real quick?
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do this.
Okay. So I go over, I find a deal on a rifle.
You did.
Heck yeah. I pick it up. I go over to pay for it. And we got to do a background check. I said, excuse me? He's like, yeah, we're FFL and we got to do a background check and call it all in. And so
Right.
I cannot remember because I live in a free state known as Texas, even though we don't have constitutional carry. But anyway, and my LTC counts as a background check. So I fill out the 4473, which I don't have a problem with. I paid my money in current climate, right? That I'm going to say I don't have a problem with it. Yes, that's an infringement. But I'm just saying, since that's the law of the land, it's not that big of a hassle. Fill it out, pay my money, right? Grab my firearm, and I leave. That's what I'm used to, right? And I could not tell you the last time I've had to go through a Nick's background check for buying a firearm, and it aggravated the bejesus out of me. So I got to rant about that, not to cramp roll call style on ranting, but I got to rant about that a little bit because there was obviously, it was a gun show. There was a whole line of people buying guns and all of them had to have a background check. And so I stood there for 15 or 20 minutes when I could have been doing other stuff. Finally told the guy, I said, hey, can I just come back? I said, I got a Texas license to carry. If it doesn't go through, I don't know why in the world it wouldn't go through. Can I just come back later and pick up the rifle? And he's like, yeah, we'll just make a note once we hear back, once we get it entered and hear back. Yeah, just come on back. And at that point, I went and got something to eat. I think we went and smoked and built around for about an hour or so. Went back and he was like, I walked up and he's like, yeah, it's clear here. Handed me the rifle. And I'm like, duh. But I mean, how stupid is that? How stupid is that? I mean, you own as many firearms as I have. You're cleared for as far as the state of Texas, as far as your background, So infringements suck. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Let's move on. Let's get happy now.
So I want to start, and we're going to talk about some of the best stuff we saw, some cool stuff we saw, and some crazy shit that we saw. Roll call. I want to bring you in real quick and say, what was like maybe not the best deal necessarily, but what was like one of the coolest guns or coolest products that you saw all weekend?
The coolest products?
Mm-hmm.
He saw me. That was it.
Well, that's true. Aside from seeing Snob.
Okay, everybody's wearing SS Pawn shirts.
I didn't notice you were wearing one.
Where we got them.
So, there was a lot of cool things that I saw. But the coolest thing that I saw was a 1903 World War I 1911. That was one of the coolest things that I've seen. Going to the show. I mean, there's a lot of other vintage guns, and I'm going to tell you, that gun was in really good shape. I think you were walking with me when we looked at it. I saw the
1942 one. I did not see the World War I. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That thing was in great shape. And I talked to the guy. He didn't want to be on camera like a lot of the people that I talked to, which is understandable. But he said that was brought back from his family's generation. And it was kept. And it was cleaned to a certain extent, but it was kept in Fort Knox or something. But I'm telling you, looking at that gun, it was really amazing. I'm not going to tell you the price tag on that thing, but that was really cool to see it survived.
Absolutely. Tone Frog up there. I want to get off this real quick. I saw that does anyone know about the, what was it? The Spartan vest. Oh yeah, Spartan vest. I run not in this one, but another carrier. I run Spartan plates. I really like the Spartan plates. I have never worn their carrier vests. I couldn't tell you, but I like their plates. I've never heard anyone complain about anything from Spartan, so I'll give you that. Snob, I want to bring you in and say, first of all, what's up? Good seeing you. He played great host this weekend. He got me to get on a saddle, and he and Buck were responsible.
I had no part in the saddle. I just want you to know I had no part.
First of all,
I had no part. I mean, I laughed when Buck told the waitress, but I had no part.
But yeah, Snob played a great host, and except for the rain coming in Friday night, that was no joke. And the wind was crazy, and it was cold as hell Saturday morning. Other than that, it was wonderful. But I want to kind of get back to you and say, what was the kind of the coolest thing you saw this weekend?
The 1076 I got to buy. That's
I
pretty much
knew
the coolest
that.
thing I
knew
saw.
that was coming. Knew that was coming. Yeah.
I've been looking for it for like 3 years. So,
Right. And not only did you got a pretty hell of a good deal on it too.
yeah. I did.
How'd you find that, Snob?
Well, I don't know. Some chicken just happened to.
The
Well,
chicken
across
crossed
it.
the road.
That
Why
just
did you
goes.
find a
that-
1076?
That just goes to show you there is opportunity in everybody and all this panic, right? There is opportunity for those that are not looking for the flavor of the day, most popular, newest trinket, shiny thing, right? If you're looking for older things, investment pieces, more of the rare stuff, the prices are not super inflated on that sort of stuff.
No, they really. That's what I said several times. There is, if you look at like the $1,000 used gun market, talking older guns that are worth $1,000 to $2,000 range, they're normal prices.
Yeah, they were pretty close. So I almost, no pun intended, but I almost pulled the trigger on an M1 Garand. I love the M1 Garand. I've always wanted one. And I found one for a little over, I think it was like $1,100, which isn't bad considering right now what prices are. And I was going to go off from 900, maybe settle for $1,000 or whatever. And then I talked myself out of it Sunday morning because I sit there and said, well, in a couple of years, it could be back down to about $700, $800. I don't have 30-06 right now, so having to go and buy 30-06 ammo for it, and then it takes, as Clover was saying to me, it takes actually a special kind of 30-06, which could inflate the prices even higher for that ammo. So I did not pull it, which I don't upset because I can get those. They're not going anywhere. But I've seen them online for $1,500 and all that, and that's why I thought if I get this for $1,000, that's really not a bad deal for a grant right now. Hopefully in a couple of years, a year or so, they'll go down to $750 range where they typically are and all of that. We'll see. Buck did say he was trying to talk me into. He was, and he did a hell of a job, and I almost did, but it just got to the point where I was just like, ugh. So I got a super chat from HBO Matt. Thank you. All super chats go to sending care packages to our troops overseas and downrange. So thank you for that. He said $1,100 for Sport 2, $1 a round for 5.56. That was the cheapest, by the way, probably. $250 for 1,000 of Wolf primers, 25 cents a round for CCI mini mags, $1,600 for a PSA AK-47, and 90 cents a round for a Gila 9mm. Yeah, there was some stupid stuff, and we're going to get into this stupid shit. The worst one I saw, as far as just crazy, there are two things that I'll walk away with. One, 1,000 rounds of 22 LR for $400. I said that right, $400. And a Diamondback AR that usually goes for $350 or so, $400. A Diamondback AR going for $1,700. So yeah, there's some crazy shit. Gary, what was the coolest thing you saw this weekend at Wanenmacher besides Snob?
Oh, well, besides all the cool people I got to see and stuff like that, and getting the chance right off the bat as soon as I got in the show of finding something that Snob had been looking for and getting the chance to text him and let him know, that was pretty cool. That was just a fluke. I just happened to see it as I was walking by. But all the knives, there were some really cool knives in there and stuff like that, and at pretty decent prices. So, and I kind of had my eye on those. So, I mean, there were, of course, naturally many, many beautiful guns in there. There always are. That one that Clover brought back that was in mint condition, that was really pretty.
Which one was that? The last one he got right there at the tail end?
I think it was the middle one, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was talking about that first one, the one I had to wait for.
Oh, that
the one that was downstairs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful gun. So
Yeah.
lots of things.
He got several really pretty guns this weekend. I know of two. I think he may have gotten three, but I know of two that he got that were really, really nice. Yeah, bring up the knives, and I totally forgot to. I took them to work because a buddy of mine wanted to see them. There was a Damascus knife guy there that 300 to 500 fold Damascus. And I'm a big sucker for Damascus knives. I ended up buying 5 of them. Yes, I said 5. But between Clover, Gary, Snob, Buck, Budget, I want to say we sold, like, that guy sold like 15 or 16 knives in those 2 days to just our crew. But he was buying the blades, and then he was the handle maker. And I wish I had them here because I bought 5 of them. They're beautiful. You can go on my Instagram. I'll put some pictures out there, and I'll be putting more pictures and doing stuff on them. But beautiful blades, beautiful handles. Guy did a great job. Snob's probably got, okay, so I've got the exact same one, except my handle is a little bit different color, but the exact same knife. Like I said, the Damascus, I'm a sucker for Damascus, but they're great. And when you buy them in bulk, like we were at 3 or 4 at a time between 3 or 4 people, you're getting them for $25, $30 a blade, which is crazy. And Gary's probably going to bring one of his up. I think you ended up getting a couple, didn't you? Let me put this. Here we go. You're muted.
Yeah, I realize that. I got 3. This is the biggest one. This is the last one I got.
Yeah. And so, yeah, he got 3. Clover got a couple. Clover got a couple because the not because he wanted both of them, I don't think, but I think the handles matched. So he went ahead and bought 2 of them because they were matching handles. But yeah, they're beautiful blades and great prices. So yeah, there's a lot of cool blades there for sure. Go to Clover real quick. And aside from the guns that you bought, because obviously you're going to be fond of those, or you wouldn't have bought them.
Yeah.
But what was kind of the coolest thing you saw this weekend?
Golly, so much. I mean, it's the largest gun show in the world, right? So it's like,
Right.
where do you even start? I will talk about a little bit about cool because of just the price and sort of echo what Snob was saying. So I've seen several Smith & Wesson Model 41s. If you don't know, one of the best 22 target pistols around, semi-automatic target pistols around. I actually seen several of those in the $800 range, which is pretty phenomenal for a Smith & Wesson 41. And had I had that much money to spend, I would have come home with one. But unfortunately, maybe next time they'll still have those, and YouTube will pay me some good, sweet money between now and then or something. And I can bring home one. But yeah, that was exciting to see. Sucked because I couldn't afford them still. But it was exciting to see that kind of a price on one of those and know that, you know, that's not an exorbitant amount. I probably could save up or something for a subsequent trip, right? And maybe pick one up. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I saw FNH out there. What's a decent price for one? I don't know if he's talking about the Polymer 80 that he and G23 were talking about earlier. I don't have a Polymer 80. Snob, I know you've got a little bit of experience, I think, with the Polymer 80s, haven't you? Do you know what a good price for one is right now?
I don't know what they're going for.
Okay, I didn't know. Rich says
I bought one and probably not again.
Gotcha. Rich says Clover has a 22 problem and Jason Stewart has an M92 problem. So we need to have one big intervention. We've all got a lot of problems. Let's see here. HBO, another $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Really wish we would have stopped by and knew that we were there. It would have been nice to meet you. But it says found the only young HMB bolt at the show. Also went to the laser engraving booth up top. Got 5 mags and the Mandalorian Guns Are My Religion LED sign. I did not see the Mandalorian sign. So I wish I would. I'm sure Clover, if you would have seen that, you probably would have had to get one. Did you see that one?
No, I did not see it.
Yeah, it was right by the laser engraved mags. This guy had all these signs, man. They were pretty.
I wasn't looking for signs. That sounds funny, but I wasn't looking for signs.
Signs everywhere. Signs, yeah. Yeah, that would have been kind of cool to see. I know that there were some T-shirts bought. We got to stop by the guy that has all the Tombstone T-shirts. Those are great. And I think he had one that Gary got this year. It was the Kansas Law Dog T-shirt with Ike's picture on there. So thought that was pretty cool. But you got to stop by the Tombstone T-shirt, guys. They're awesome. Snob says he's got to restart the computer. So, all right. So I'm gonna start with Clover, and we're gonna work our way back and say, what was the worst priced, like crazy, like you've got to be outside your damn mind item that you saw there? Is there one that just sticks out in your mind? Because there was a lot of it. There was a lot of crazy ass shit out there.
There was so much, right? That it's like,
golly.
where do you begin? I seen what was that again? Well, I seen like the SIGs, like the 220s, things like the things like that, mainly 220s. Man, I've seen some of them, and they weren't like the special models either. That were like $1,000 plus. And I'm like, I'm not a big SIG guy, so maybe I'm unaware of something. But I was like, that's not right. That's a $600 or $700 or something, maybe not 11 or 1200.
Right, maybe 800 would be today's value.
Yeah,
I mean, same.
And we're talking about We're not talking about a new gun. We're not talking about like a dealer with new stuff on the table. I didn't really even go to those tables, right? Because I don't go to gun shows, and in particular, the largest gun show in the world, to look at things that I can buy at any freaking gun shop or online, right? So
Right.
those people don't even get my time really. Yeah, I'm talking about tables where it was like used guns, and you're like, yeah, you're like you said, $700-800 maybe, but 1,200, what?
Yeah. First of all, Buck, I sent you a link, so check your email. You should have a link if you want to jump in. But yeah, so Buck and I, this is Buck's first one. I was hoping Buck would come in because this is his first Wanenmacher, but if he might be busy. But so Buck and I, he was out looking for a lever action rifle, and he really wanted 357, but he would take maybe 44, 41, 45, 70. He just wanted a lever action that was pretty cool. So we were on the lookout for it. And he was amazed down below the lower level. I don't know if there's a lot of some of the collectors, but he was like, he came across this one and he says, "Oh, I think this is it. This is it." I said, "What's that?" And he said, $350. Like, I'm in. And I looked down, I said, Buck? And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "That's 35,000.
Right.
He thought it was 350.00.
Yeah. Nope.
And it wasn't. It was 35. He goes, "Holy shit, 35 grand for a lever action." So that was a crazy one, but he was like, I found it. I said, no, you didn't. Gary's out there putting links out there. It was great.
There's a lot of that at that show.
Yeah.
That, a lot of expensive stuff like that. You gotta, especially with FUD guns, man, like, give the FUDs all the crap you want, but FUD guns are expensive guns usually. And there's some highly collectible, rare stuff, especially downstairs, or I say downstairs on the lower level, especially on the lower level. There's some high dollar, very collectible stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah. I'm just glad Buck didn't give him his credit card.
Right. And it got declined. He wouldn't have to worry about it.
35 grand. But so David out there says, today I saw a G19 Gen 4 for $2,500 on consignment at local gun shop. I'm going to say you might want to go find another local gun shop. Just saying. That's craziness. Gary, I'll come to you and say, do you remember anything that sticks out in your mind? What was the craziest batshit like prices you saw on something?
Well, let's see. I saw a box of 50 Full Metal Jacket 38 special for $69.99. There's a brick of Federal 22 that went for $150. And that wasn't even the worst, I guess, from what I hear.
Well, it was priced. It was priced that nobody's seen anything selling for that price, right?
Well, that's
because I've seen a lot of, especially on the ammo, and we'll get into ammo here a little bit later. Talk about it because I got some stuff to say about that. But I've seen a lot of like marked through and changed prices multiple times where they kept lowering it and it still wasn't getting sold.
I saw stuff going up. One of the guns I was looking at
Yes,
started
you
out
did.
at 550 and it went up to 575. I'm like, what the hell? Now, real quick here before you go back into that, I saw Buck and I saw, maybe Roll Call was with us. We were looking for some Roll Call ammo. But we saw a box of 100 of Winchester White Box 380 for $150. And I was like, that's just stupid. Sorry, go ahead. So, some ammo stuff you saw.
Yeah, and there's a pair of side-by-side double-barrel shotguns. I forget, Snob, what were those going for?
Wasn't it like 42.5 for the pair?
Yeah, I
Something like
think
that.
so. That was crazy.
Sorry, what? Holy
So,
shit. Okay.
Yeah, there was some stuff they were really
they
proud of.
owned by Wyatt Earp? Or Doc Holliday owned those things originally? Yeah, I gotta love it. Let's see here. Roll call. What's some crazy ass shit besides the hotel room Sunday night? What's some of the craziest shit you saw this weekend? Uh-oh.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, man. I got a lot of gripes and rants and raves, man. And I don't know if I want to blow them all on your show now.
No,
No,
we'll tune in tomorrow night. Just give me one. Give me a teaser for tomorrow night.
I would say AKs and SKSs, man.
SKS is. I'm glad someone said that. Fuck me.
Right.
Look,
Right.
man. I understand. These guns. These guns have value, okay, and they're iconic. Okay, I get it. You know, they were used in certain wars. They were priced really low back in the day. I remember watching crates of them being opened up, $80 a piece out of the crate. I remember those days. When I see an SKS for $1,300 or an AK for almost $3,000,
yeah,
and on top of it, it looks like poop, I am going to question it. Like, I saw guns in Cosmoline, still in Cosmoline, for $3,000. And that's one of the gripes that I have. I don't think those guns are worth it. I think they're cool. I think everyone should own one. But for the pricing that was at that show, that's a big gripe for me.
yeah.
Add Mosins to that as well.
I didn't see Moses prices. I didn't see what they were.
They were high for what they should be.
Yeah, I didn't see any Mosins, but when I was walking around with Roll Call, we saw, I don't remember what that one SKS was, and it wasn't even that good a shape at all, and it was 12 or 13. It was unreal how much it was.
You take the one off of that, and it's still a little high.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Yeah, there was some SKS prices. I was like, it was so funny because we were talking Saturday night at the restaurant, and we had a big crowd, and Stan was sitting next to me, and we were kind of talking about shit. And he's like, I'm embarrassed. Like, I'm embarrassed to say that I have a gun shop at some of the prices that I'm seeing. And some of it was truly embarrassing. It was really bad. Snob will go to you and say, what was the craziest, like, what the hell moment you saw this weekend?
The craziest one was the guy, and he had it all weekend. Imagine that. But he had a stripped Anderson lower for $225.
$200. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
And I saw stripped Anderson lowers at other booths for like $69 at the show, which that's too high.
That's double what they normally are, but it is what it is.
But I would understand $69, but the $225 I just walked by and I was like, did I read that wrong? I went back and looked and I was like, nope.
So we're gonna get into the ammo because on top of the ammo was everywhere.
Oh, there was no shortage of ammo.
There was no shortage of ammo. There was a shortage of good prices. But like Buck was saying out there, we'd be out there smoking, and people would have like, what do they call those little dollies, or not the trolleys, but the wagons, little wagons, and all this full of cases of ammo. And I'm thinking, I know what those are going for in there, and these people are buying 10,000 rounds of ammo. They're spending $10,000 on ammo at least, and it's just like crazy. So we've already talked a little bit about it, but let's kind of go in. I know Clover said he wanted to go into ammo a little bit, so I'll let you lead off and And what's up, JBP? How you doing? Go into some of the ammo shit that you want to talk about.
Well,
I'm gonna let you have your rants and raves real quick.
one thing. Well, I've got two things that I want to say about the ammo. The first is that what annoyed me is I seen big box store security tags and labels and stuff on. You could usually tell right on the ammo.
Or Herder's brand or Monarch brand.
So it was obvious that it was store branded ammo, or it was obvious that they had picked that up over the last 6 months, whatever it is, at Academy, at Walmart, at Bass Pro, at wherever, and then they brought it up there and inflated the prices to something that's crazy. So instead of letting somebody else that actually needs the ammo leave it on the shelf and let them have it, they were being freaking vultures, which annoys the crap out of me. And it's why situations like this. Same thing happened in 2013 and years past. A lot of people weren't in the community then and didn't realize it, but that's what prolongs this. So when you see people doing that, you need to wag a finger at them to knock it off. Not that they're going to. But what was interesting to me, because I picked up some ammo, and what was interesting to me is roll call will attest to this too. The vintage, old, oddball, the ammo that should be expensive because it's not mainstream. 4440 roll call's 8mm rimmed. Super great deals on that. But yet 9mm and 45 and 223 and whatever, even 12 gauge. Good Lord, a box of 5. Just I don't even remember what brand, Rio or something. 12 gauge buckshot was like $25.
Right.
And so it's like, I don't get it. It's like, what better time to have a FUD gun right now? Seriously, because
Buck actually picked up he picked up a 300 blackout, and we basically he had a lower at home. We got him an upper, his brace and buffer tube and spring and buffer and all that. So he's basically gonna have a 300 blackout, but he also needed some 300 blackout ammo. And we found he got a couple boxes for $29, which seems a little high, but really was not for the show. We were driving home and he was going on some different ammo things, and he was like, man, they're selling for like $50-$60 a round for 20 rounds of 300 blackout. So he got a hell of a deal on that. Do you have another thing you want to bring up on ammo there, Clove?
No, that was it. Just the fact that the more rare, obscure stuff, which should be higher, was not. It wasn't just normal price; it was cheap.
Yeah,
I picked up 2 50-round boxes of 4440, which is typically 75 cents a round, maybe, I don't know, something like that, for $20 a box. And then Roll Call picks up boxes of 8mm rim for $8 or something a box. I don't even know. He could tell you.
We'll bring that in. We'll bring that in real quick. Snob, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, I picked up several boxes of 7.5 French for like $15 a box, and you can't find that nowhere for that, if you can even find it, for a buddy of mine. Yeah.
So Roll Call picked up some 8mm by 56. He decided to go find other ammo to shoot in the rifle, because the ammo that he picked up at first is kind of interesting. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, man. So, and I'll let the cat out of the bag. I don't have anything to hide. Hold on, let me grab my dog a treat real quick. Hold on.
I thought there was a whole. Let me mute myself here. This silence brought to you by Roll Call 219's Rants and Raves every Wednesday night. Tomorrow should be it was already going to be a doozy until even before Sunday night at the motel. I can only imagine what Rants and Raves is going to be like this Wednesday.
Well, here's what I don't understand. You wait until you're called upon to then go give your dog a treat.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what in the world is that about?
He's blind, and well, he's half blind, so I gotta kind of usher him towards where to go. Just like what Patriot in Dark does. But anyways, so looking at this gun, dude. So this gun is a Steyr. It's an M95, It's in what me and Clover looked up for it, and what I've seen online since I've researched this gun, and I have a ton of information on just the brand of firearm, not technically mine, but that gun is really cool. It is a thumper. This thing, I honestly, I'm going to tell you, when I shoot it, you're not going to get, a ton of clips out of it. You're not going to get a ton of clips out of it from what I've watched online. This thing
And by the way, they actually are clips. So no one out there saying magazines. No, there actually are clips. So just shut up now.
Exactly.
They're M blocks. This gun takes an M block clip. So looking at the ammunition for this gun, and by the way, Clover, you were right. That guy took that box of ammunition and he hid it under his pillow because it wasn't there when I went back to go buy it all. So this ammunition, it was what is it? 8x56 R.
8x56, yep.
So not only did it come in its original box, original M block clips, it had a head stamp of the Nazi regime. So our guest, or me and Stan from SS Pawn, as you see Clover's shirt, his friends that he had bought there from the show, their consensus is this gun was captured when it was surrendered, or somebody perished, and the Russians had already zipped their own little serial number on it because it has no
Yep.
It has no import marks. I called my I didn't call him. I sent pictures to my surplus guy and sent him everything that I could find stamped. Opening up the bolt, Buck, I got it open. But opening up the bolt, looking in the bolt, there was a small, tiny portion of stamping on the bolt. And I sent it all to him. He's like, this thing is probably going to be correct from what you heard from the guys, that this was refurbished at an armory. This wasn't above a
reissued. Yeah, absolutely.
It was a reissued gun. And somehow it made its way here. And so it's an interesting story on it. Now it shoots the Mannlicher ammo, or as the true pronunciation, the Mannlicher ammunition, but it's from it's just the action of the bolt. Steyr actually, kind of stole the design of it, and that's how this gun came upon us in our lifetime. So, I mean, finding ammunition, because I was watching G's chat, I mean, people really dug up what they had buried because they were so scared of anti-gun laws and Joe Biden's of the sort. Because I found a ton of old ammunition. I looked at I think it was Gun Snob. I looked at him. I said, "Do you know anything about Peter's ammunition?" I'm like, I don't even know who Peter is.
The box literally looked like they dug it out of their yard. Honestly, dude, it looked that way.
Dude, it was bad, dude. I was finding stuff that when I picked up the box and looked at the stamp, this stuff was made in the early 60s.
So if you have been to Wanenmacher several times, and if you paid attention, and if whatever, there's a lot of old ammunition there. I've got one of my good buddies. In fact, there'll be a video that drops for his booth because we talk about old ammunition and rare stuff. That's one of the highlights of making that show. Is to do a video with him, just talking about that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of ammo collectors, and there is a lot of old ammo. So I wouldn't put it square on the shoulders of people were just digging up stuff to try to get ammo to the show to make money and sell it, because of the political climate. That show always has a lot of ammo collectors and old ammo at it.
Yeah, so we were looking for ammo. Buck and I were out. This is Sunday morning, I think. Sunday morning sometime. We were looking for stuff, but we were like, hey, we'll try to look for some ammo for roll call. So we go and we find some. And it says 8mm and this, that, and the other. And Buck will attest to this. I said, is this 8x56R? And she's like, yes. And I was like, holy shit, they wanted like $20 a box for it. So I call roll call, and roll call is at the bottom far corner, as far away from us as you can get. And I said, we got some ammo for you, bro. He goes, I'm on my way. And he must have like ran Carl Lewis style because he got there quickly. And we get there and he's like, this isn't going to fit. This isn't, he goes, oh no, this is 8x57. And I'm like, I literally just asked you and you said it was. And so that didn't work, but we did end up finding, just randomly, like literally stumbled across it. Me, Ro, and Buck were looking. That's what kind of we saw those old 1911s, I think. And right now, and we saw Ro P226 nut. We saw him, and right across from his, I was just kind of standing there while you were talking with Ro, and I looked down, and there it is. And so we at least got you a couple boxes of it for you. So that was at least better than nothing.
Yeah, I told you. I mean, Wanenmacher is like one of those shows that you don't give up. And that's what I tried to stress to Budget. I'm like, don't get frustrated. You will turn that corner off the end of the aisle, and there will be that glory piece that you've been looking for. And I looked at Ghost and I said that. And while I was over there rambling, my jaw's over there to nut, man, he said, Rogal. I looked over, he's like, it's right here. I said, I told you. As soon as we turn the corner on one of these just BFE aisles out in the middle of nowhere, you'll find it. And that's how we found that ammunition.
And
it's fun to have a
needle in the haystack is what it is at Wanenmacher, literally. You know,
it's fun to have a wish list and go in there going, oh, because it's such a big show and you can almost find just about anything in there. It's always fun to have a wish list. No, I'm going to go and I'm going to look for this and look for that and look for this. But you can almost throw that out of the freaking window because you're absolutely right. You're going to turn a corner, something's going to catch your eye, and you're going to be like, holy crap. And the next thing you know, who cares about what you went there for the list? You can't turn away from whatever it is, right?
That's right. Yeah, and that's a cool thing. Snob, Gary, do you have any cool ammo that you saw or a crazy-ass ammo price store that you want to bring up?
All the ammo I saw was crazy-ass priced for the most part.
Yep.
I will say this. I will say this real quick. We went to what is that place, Snobby? Bill's Gun Shop or something?
Bill's Sporting Goods in Claremore?
Yeah, we went there. I bought ammo cheaper there than I did at the show. So I picked up a box of 9 and a box of 5.56. So that should tell you what we're looking at the prices. And one more little note. The Armed 422, that's just a solid lead nose. I saw a price tag at one point for $30 a box. I looked at that guy's like $30 for a couple of boxes. And he's like, no, $30 a box. And that's when I shut my trap because, you know, I'll get trouble.
You might have gotten kicked out if you would have gone on. Yeah. Yeah. I think the cheapest 9mm I saw was running about 90 cents, and the most expensive I saw was $2.50 a round per round. 5.56 was about the same, but that 1,000 rounds of 22 for $400. I mean, good Lord. I mean, even if you just came up with a number that sounded batshit crazy, you wouldn't have come up with $400 for 1,000 rounds of 22 LR. So that was probably the worst for me that I saw. God bless.
There was one company there. I don't remember the name of it. It was an ammo company, had a sign, ammo company, you know, some ammo company, XYZ ammo company, whatever it was. They had white boxes and they were bulk packs of all different calibers, 500 round bulk packs.
Okay.
And they had 9mm for $350 for 500 rounds.
So that's what,
I mean, that ain't cheap.
That's
but
not
at
bad.
least they weren't like the scalpers buying it up at Academy or Bass Pro and taking it there and selling it. But I said, if I was going to buy it and had to have it, I'd buy it from them, you know.
Well, could you not buy it up at Academy? I'm not trying to give people ideas. Could you not buy it up Bass Pro Academy? You make all the circuits, right? Then you dump for the prices you're going to charge, right? Which are obviously inflated. Could you not then take certain brands and head stamps, dump them all together, put them in different white boxes, and then sell them? And then nobody would think that you're scalping ammo because
that is true.
It's in a different box.
That
and
is
you're going to
true.
jack up the prices enough. I know because I reload. So I've bought those cardboard boxes. In fact, I've got boxes of boxes, which sounds weird, on a shelf right over there. I can point to them that I use for my reloads. And so those boxes are cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just repackage them and throw them out there, print a little label, throw it on it, whatever. And nobody would know the difference.
Mm-hmm. And
I
one
did-
other little. Oh, go
I
ahead.
didn't fall. I just said I didn't fall for that trick because I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a lot of stuff in baggies on tables, and there was a lot of stuff
Right.
Yep.
just
Yep.
in those little white boxes with a label on it that just labeled what the caliber was.
Yeah, well, this place had, I don't know, there had some ammo company on it. It said remanufactured ammo. It was all brass case. I'm sure it was just some little ammo company, but yeah, I could absolutely see you being able to do that.
Yeah. Wes was saying he didn't see Fort Scott. They were not there.
Not really any reason for them to be, if you think about it.
Yeah. Why waste the money?
Right.
They can sell all their ammo right without even going.
Exactly. So yeah, there was an ammo place kind of right in front of our table on the main aisle, and I stopped by there, and they had Tula steel case 7.62 by 39, and I saw it. I was like, let's just go see.
I've seen that too. Yeah.
I mean, once again, you could come up with just, hey, I'm going to fuck somebody over and name a price, and it wouldn't come close to some of the prices that were out there. It was unbelievable. I was like, these people have lost their damn minds. I will tell you that outside of guns and ammo, there were a lot of stuff that was out there for really good price. I saw a lot of optics that were really, really good priced. Obviously, holsters were normal price and all that.
Oh, man, the booth that was next to our table that had the cowboy rigs and
all
stuff.
the leather stuff. Yeah,
those
cool.
were nice, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had belts. They had the holster. Basically, if you were going to shoot cowboy, you could have left there with everything that you needed as far as setup. But it looked like it was really quality stuff, and they were really cool. They had a dog up there Sunday. And it might have been there the whole time. I never saw it until Sunday. But I was worried that thing was going to fall off a little because they had their booth was pretty high. At least for me, I'm short, so I know Snobbit probably wasn't that high. But for me, I would have had to have rock climbed. Yeah, I would have had to have rock climbed up there.
You know, you were talking about roll call. I will say, believe it or not, when that show's at its busiest point on Saturday, a fat boy, whenever somebody texts him and tells him there's a 1076 for about $500 cheaper than you've ever seen it before, you can make it from the bottom corner of the lower left level to the opposite corner of the upper level in no time at all. And I told Gary, I said, you know, those people you hate that just kind of barge through and push through people when you're trying to look at stuff? That was 100% me.
Yeah,
I was the biggest jerk in the world. Yep.
But you got it. So it was all worth it.
What gets me is the people that will congregate in an aisle and have a talk. You know what I'm saying? There's this with that show. I mean, there is steady traffic flow, right? The whole show. And for whatever reason, people just decide instead of getting off in a corner, hey, let's go over here and talk. You know, they just stop right in the middle of everybody and start having a conversation. And you're like, no, just no.
You know, I did notice, and at Wanenmacher, all gun shows, but especially at Wanenmacher, if you've never been, you need to go, obviously. But a lot of people walking around with rifles slung over their shoulder with a sign saying, you know, for sale or whatever, ask for price or whatever.
Or homemade t-shirts.
What's that?
Or homemade t-shirts.
Or the AFT t-shirt. We did see, or Clover did see an AFT t-shirt. So that had to have been hot off.
Possibly the first sighting of an AFT agent. The first sighting of an AFT agent. I don't think I've ever seen one before. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, you know, it was groundbreaking.
They do exist, apparently.
Apparently they do, and it's a new organization created by Biden like last Thursday, and on Saturday there's a t-shirt. So yeah, he might have been the first hire. Honestly, he really could have. He might have been the first hire. Yeah. So if he's the first hire, is he the head of it? Did we possibly meet the head of the AFT?
Well, I mean, once you get into that put into that position, I mean, don't you have an obligation to attend the largest gun show in the world?
I think you do.
I think so too. So it makes sense. Makes total sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I was running into something. I can't remember what it was. I don't
Yeah,
know
you
about
were
that.
talking about. What were you talking about?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not that smart.
He was
Okay.
talking about how fast I seen the gun snob move. This guy looked back at me and he's like, Gary's over here. I said, don't wait on me, man. Don't wait on me. I'm over here squirreling at this glass case that I'm probably not going to afford anything into it.
Well, you were talking about the first time you'd seen something, I think, too. I don't know what it was.
Oh yeah. So the guys walking around with ask for a price and selling their own rifles. For the most part, when I was hearing someone like, "Hey, what do you want for that? What do you want for that?" For me, for the most part, most of the people that were selling their own firearms over the shoulder were pretty reasonable. They were much better priced than the tables were. So
Agree.
I wonder if those people did a lot of business this weekend because they were way lower than the tables were.
I've seen a lot of people walking in and walking out with firearms that did not have the little "I bought this at a table" tag on it.
Yep. So who's that? Snob? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I didn't think there was as many people, though, this year walking around with bags and signs or rifles as there normally is. I mean, there was still a bunch, don't get me wrong. I just didn't think there was as many because, a lot of years you can't walk through there because everybody has a rifle strung over their shoulder with a wooden dowel rod down the barrel with a sign on it saying, what they want for it.
And you would think that this would be the year of any year that you want to do it. This would be the year that you would say, you know what? I've got 6 ARs over there. I can probably go sell one. And this would have been the year to do it. But I think you're right. Now, Buck and I were outside. I don't know, maybe Snob and Gary and Clover were out there and Will were out there with us. I don't remember. But I know that Buck and I were out there because we almost shit ourselves. So we were outside smoking and the door opens up. And they had this big old gray 50-gallon trash cans that were on rollers all over the place. This dude walks out with one of those trash cans and the entire thing was full of rifles. And we're like, holy shit. That dude bought a ton of rifles and he was instead of carrying them, he just put them all in this trash can and wheeled them out to his car and then brought it back and was gone. I was like, wow. A trash can full of rifles. So if he bought them from private sales he spent a lot of money probably on all these rifles. It was kind of cool to see that though. I was like, wow, as bad as prices are, it's nice to know that the consumers are still out there being consumers and all of that because I was hearing, and I'll let you guys just jump in, guys, but I heard from many, 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 many people that were having booths there that by Saturday afternoon, they had already broken records for 25 years of sales at Wanenmacher. So I don't know if the number of guns or obviously with inflated prices, you might sell the amount of money, but they were talking records being broken on Saturday afternoon.
So with some of the regulars that I know that have been to that show for many, many years, some of them almost as long as it's been going on, every one of them had the same. They were like, oh my God, we one of them was like, I had to go back to the shop last night and weld a bunch of stuff up. As a matter of fact, talking about Saturday night, he spent Saturday night literally welding stuff up to get to the show Sunday because they had sold out, but people were going to come back Sunday and, and pick up more. And it was just, it was crazy. They were definitely doing good business. The people that I talked with.
Yeah, I was talking with Scott on Sunday from Celtic Holsters, and he said this is by far their best show. And he said, I think it's because, everything was high, so people weren't buying the other stuff, so they were buying, a nice holster, stuff like that. That was still
every time
price.
I walked by hit Scott's booth, they always had 2, 3, 4 people in front, every time. So it was great to see that.
He was busy both days.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to kind of transition a little bit since we were talking about this. Oh shit. 223 says had a friend who bought a Heritage 22 for $315. So Buck, if he was in here, I think he would tell you that one of the worst things he saw was a Heritage Rough Rider for $269, but it was crossed out for $269. So I think it was over $300 was the original price, and for a Rough Rider, and I was like, holy shit. That was, oh, that's right. So Buck has also said, so we were out Sunday morning, right before we went to go have our 11:30 lunch over with the Philly cheesesteaks, but we were out there smoking, and the Philly cheesesteak guy was outside smoking. He came like, what's up, man, and all that. And I was like, you guys have been busy, haven't you? And he goes, so first of all, they ran out of cheese Saturday afternoon at the Philly cheesesteak place. They brought 2.5 boxes of cheese and ran out Saturday. They weren't expecting it. They sold, in just Saturday alone, they sold 320 sandwiches. And he said that this was by far a record-breaking weekend for the cheesesteaks there at Wanenmacher. So
I mean, they were pretty good, though.
So here's the thing. So
I always get one every day, and they're $10, and they are unreal.
So y'all always raved about the Philly cheesesteaks, right? I don't care for them. I never have cared for them. My wife got one, and I took a bite. That's all I was allowed to take. But next show, I will be having a Philly cheesesteak. I'm on board. I understand. I'm converted. You don't have to rag on me anymore. Next show, you will see me with the Philly cheesesteak.
Interesting fact, though. We were out there on Sunday afternoon sitting outside, and same dude was sitting out there smoking. And Stacy was talking. Yeah, the guy that's making the Phillies for us.
Yeah,
Stacy was talking to the gal beside us, and she was from north of Tulsa. I said, "Oh, we are too." Anyways, kind of told her the direction we were from, and he's like, anyway, something another, and he said something about it, and I said, we're from Chelsea. He said, I'm from Chelsea. Anyways, come to find out, I went to school with his younger brother.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, his younger brother was a couple years younger than me.
So
but yeah.
Are we getting hooked up with cheesesteaks next time we go?
I think so. I think we're in good. He's going to give us like double meat or something, probably.
Yeah, man. Hey, these guys were talking about it, and I always do the chicken on a stick, or I do the cheese, just the big deep fried cheese,
or the katana sword sized corn dog. Oh my god!
The katana side chicken on a stick. That thing was a fucking club. You could have hurt someone with that.
Yeah, that thing was huge. And I told Budget about it. And I sit down to eat my cheesesteak. I look over. He's got a big old chicken on a stick, man. Like
it looks like that thing looked like it was like a caveman club. I mean, it was enormous. Like it looked good though, and he said it was wonderful. But I'm telling you, I'm not saying it's a Philly cheesesteak. If you're a cheesesteak fan, I would be willing to bet it's the greatest cheesesteak at a gun show in America. I would probably say that it's got to be
hands down, and I only had one bite. Hands down,
it's unbelievable.
I love Phillies. I get them a lot of places, and it's one of the better ones I've ever got. I don't know.
Same here.
If I go back, I'm gonna do a review on the cheesesteak and ask to get behind there, and he's gonna swab that up. And by the way, put your channel name on your ticket. I don't know how
Lord. Oh Lord.
So he
got all excited whenever dude
roll call. I said subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell.
Easiest way to advertise. Easiest way.
That's beautiful, man. I never thought about that.
I'm good for some things, but that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put my name on this cheesesteak, and all of a sudden, everybody, John, Bob, Trey, roll call. I'm like, yeah,
and he yelled at roll call.
Yeah, I mean, whenever dude says Trey or Kent, nobody subscribes. Roll call's like, oh, just gained 10 subscribers right there.
He's like, damn, I just got 7 subscribers in like a minute. Gotta love it. The only thing that I wish they would have there are fries. And I know there are fries at the burger joint on the other end over there, but if he had like a little basket of curly fries or something to go along with it.
My wife wanted that too when she got her cheesesteak. She's like, they don't have fries. So yeah, I think so. I think they could do well
if you find out stuff, if you want to talk to him and say, hey, that might be something you look into, because I think he can make an absolute killing for a cheesesteak.
It wouldn't even be that bad if they just had fries at the food booth right next to it.
Right next to it, yeah. No, you had to go all the way across And I'm not going through that just to get an order of $4 fries. Sorry.
So Steven out there says, was there hot chicks in bikinis selling guns there? Selling guns, no, but the tack girls were there. They're always there. So bikinis pretty close to bikinis. I mean, with what they wear, but yeah, the tactical girls or whatever, always there. So
yeah, when they bent over, looked like they were wearing dental floss.
Right.
Jesus, roll call.
I wasn't looking. I was a good husband.
Well, sometimes God blesses you, and this is one of the times.
But that's a cool. I tried to get Budget because it was his first time going, right? And I tried to tell him about the tactical girls, and I'm like, dude, go over there and get some Instagram pics or something. You will get Instagram subscribers. I'm like, they'll eat that up. I'm like, I don't know how good it'll do on YouTube or anything like that, but if you just throw a few pics, with the tactical girls on Instagram, man, you'll get several hundred followers in the weekend, easy.
Yeah, it was. Budgets and Bucks first, and it was so funny because I wish Buck was in here. He's probably still at work. Okay, so here's something real cool. So Buck, I'm not going to tell you where he works and all that, but Buck is going to be working on something that is pretty awesome. So there is someone that bought a space shuttle, like an actual space shuttle that went out into space, and they're turning it into a food truck. Don't ask me why. But he's going to be one that's putting in an engine, a diesel motor, into this thing. But it's the fuselage of an actual space shuttle that was up in space, turning it into a food truck, and they're working on that right now. So he says he's
never going to link.
That might be
everyone else here was on the same email, Buck.
That might be even cooler than the Wiener Mobile, huh?
Yes, and if he wants to come in, the link is there in the chat now, link. So come on in, Buck, and you can maybe tell people about it. But anyway, so Buck starts calling me like Tuesday night. He's all excited, and he goes, so what do I need to bring? We're going through this, that, and the other, as far as cameras or clothes. I said, make sure bring whatever cameras you want. 2 things that you must bring with you at all times: comfortable shoes and either long underwear or compression shorts, because you don't want to get rough raw.
Yes.
Not having those. But he shows up, and he said he repacked 3 or 4 times that week. He was so excited and all of that. And when he gets in here, we'll ask him what he thought, because I told us, what's going to happen for you, unfortunately, this will go for anyone basically. You'll never look at a local gun show in the same light again. It's going to ruin you for local gun shows. And it's not because of just the massiveness of it. It is massive. 11 acres under one building, over 4,000 booths and 20 to 25,000 people a day rolling through there. The massiveness of it is going to ruin it. But kind of what we were talking about earlier is you can go through a local gun show and be done in an hour, maybe 2 at max, and see everything in there. And whether you were looking for it or not, you would know what's there. You're never going to do that. The part of the fun of Wanenmacher is going with your list of the 3, 4, 5 things that you're looking for. And it's almost like a scavenger hunt, like trying to find what you're looking for, because most of the time, except for Snob, most of the time, what we were all looking for, we didn't find, or we found other stuff. And that is the beautiful thing of just turning it, like you said, turning a corner. Oh, look at that. That's pretty awesome. Look at that price. Holy cow. I've got to have it. That's what makes Wanenmacher so fun. So
you said that. I spent 4 shows looking for that gun, and this is the one I found it at. When I didn't think I would find it this year. I thought this will be the year there's no chance.
Okay. Steven says, strange question. Did you ever worry about? No, I didn't even carry at the show. I didn't even care. I carried over the weekend when I was not in the show. I carried, but I locked up my gun in the lockbox. I didn't even bring it inside. I locked it in the lockbox in the car.
Mine may or may not have been in my backpack, but here's the thing: my backpack stayed at the table the vast majority of the time. No, absolutely. That question is absolutely no.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I
one of
carry all through the show. I carried all through the show. I carry through Illinois. I carry wherever I can carry. I mean, if we can get on this subject, no, man, all gun laws are infringement, and I'm not
Oh,
taking.
no, we're not talking about gun laws. We're talking about, did you ever feel unsafe?
Right.
while with that
Unsafe?
service? Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, if you looked at people's hips, and if you looked at ammunition, they still had their magazines, and there's ammunition everywhere. Which way you
Everywhere.
wanna look. So all you had to do was duck behind something for a few and load your mag.
All right.
That's right. Yeah. Never worried about that at one bit. Let's bring Buck in. What's up, homie?
How's it
Buck's
going,
based
everybody?
in Burton, and we had a great time. I enjoyed riding over there and back with Buck, and I'll kind of bring you in. And TJ, what's going on, my homies out there? I want to bring Buck in and say, what was I brought up the Rough Rider, but was that the craziest batshit price thing you saw at the gun show this weekend? What was the craziest thing you saw?
When my heart broke when I found out that damn lever gun was $35,000.
Instead of $350? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I had one there. And there was one time I did feel unsafe.
Okay. What's
But
that?
I ain't gonna mention that.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know what I'm talking
Did it
about.
involve the rain?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
I was just worried
it-
it was the guy driving in the rain made you feel unsafe.
No.
No.
Everything was good in the rain till it made me get outside and look for tornadoes. I was riding on the roof.
I put what he's talking about in the private chat, so yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
won't bring that up. But yeah, that was interesting
yeah.
to say the least. So Buck, your first time to Wanenmacher, I want to ask you one: was it what you expected or different? And what are you leaving now? Wishing that you would. I'm not going to ghost you right off the bat. So yeah, oh yeah, exactly. So was it what you expected or different?
Well, I kind of had an idea, but it was about 5 times greater than what I expected. I was kind of overwhelmed a lot, but, I mean, wall
And I
to
think
wall.
that's how a lot of people are. We can tell you how massive this thing is going to be, but it's usually even bigger than what people have in their minds. I remember Saturday morning we pulled in. It was about 7:30, and we pulled in there, and I said, "There it is." He goes, "Holy cow!" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was
just
the
one-
park was almost full already at 7:30.
I would venture a guess that just one floor is easily 4 times or more the size of most gun shows. Just one floor.
Easily. A
Easily.
big show.
Oh,
A big
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to other gun shows.
Bottom section.
I've been to other gun shows at that building, in that same building. Just the
Okay.
regular gun shows, they have them sometimes in that building, and they have them only on the lower level. The top level's something else. I've seen when it's at the top level's a craft show and other stuff, and only on the lower level. And it's not, and the tables are a lot farther apart, bigger aisles. It doesn't even fill up the lower level. What's the lower level? Probably a third of the whole building, if that.
If that, yeah, I'd say it's 2/3 up top, a third. That's probably a good rough estimate.
Yeah, and I
For
mean it's like so spread out compared to how these aisles are, somewhat cramped. It's really spread out, and not nothing like that was.
If they say it's 11 acres, I'd probably say the upper one is probably 8, and maybe the lower one's 3. Would you kind of?
Yeah, probably something
about
like
right.
that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was just nuts. So now, Buck, I want to kind of go back to you, and we've all been there multiple times. Is there anything next year, knowing what you know now, is there things that you would do differently next year on how to attack Wanenmacher?
Yeah, I'm definitely going in there with a plan this next time.
He's like,
Yeah,
my plan
just
is to
like
bring more cash.
Cut it into thirds, yeah, and try to get another credit card. Right, about 3 of them with me.
Oh, by the way, the ATM lines were fucking insane.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, I was
weekend.
accidentally
were
waiting in an
crazy.
ATM line waiting on a Philly once and didn't realize I was.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
only a $200 limit. You get $200 out at a time.
Yeah.
So,
So there are people
if you need
$200 right back in, $200, put it right back in, $200.
Yeah, what are you gonna buy there for $200? Seriously.
A holster?
I don't know.
I'm gonna see about renting a booth there and just have nothing but ATM machines the whole way around, and charge like 10 cents less than that they charge for the fee.
They were charging what, like $4 or $5, something like that.
It was like $3.95.
Yeah,
Right at
$4.
four,
Yeah.
right at $4.
I'm sure the venue would have a problem with that, but you could make a killing.
Oh yeah, you could. If you could get by with it, you could.
Yeah. Yeah, they yeah, it was so funny because I was like, we were driving home Sunday night and we're both tired and our feet were hurting, our backs were hurting. And I said, "You ready to do it again?" He goes, "I can't wait. I can't wait." So I'm glad you had a good experience, Buck. It is truly something that you will want to experience once in your life, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
You know what the best thing about this show is?
I would agree with the experience at once, but if you ever go once, you're
going to go back.
You're going to want to go back every single time.
Yeah. What's up, Snub?
I said, you know what the best thing about this particular show was? Actually having it. And actually getting out and getting to do stuff again, and being it was normal in there for most of it. I mean, everything was pretty much normal. It was like life has returned.
Right.
It was hilarious. So we got in there about 7:30 or so on Saturday morning, and so we knew the gates opened at 8. So we kind of just Buck and I just kind of like started walking around a little bit, kind of getting a guesstimate of what prices were going to be, just real quick. And 8 o'clock rolls through and people start coming in, and about 8:15, 8:30, you hear the loudspeaker.
Oh, the announcement. Yeah.
Announcement. Due to according to the Department of Health, the mask mandate is in effect. Please, blah, 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 wear the mask and all that. The other. I looked around, and I'm not joking when I say this. The entire weekend, I might have seen 5 people, including the security guards, with masks on, and they didn't do shit, didn't give a shit. It was wonderful to be.
Now, whenever we first got there on Saturday, the security guard was not wearing a mask. They put it on after that thing. They actually put a face mask on.
It wasn't a mask.
It was a shield.
But when they walked in, there were even the security guards did not have, and I think they were probably told to put those on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was wonderful to be free again. It was wonderful to be around people and to see that kind of a massive undertaking happen finally, and the people showed up, and regardless if prices were crazy batshit nuts or not, a lot of currency changed hands in a pro-gun fashion, so that was wonderful to see as well. I got to go to Whataburger, which was great. I want to say, was it Budget's first time, or it was someone's first time to have Whataburger, was it not?
Budget hadn't had Whataburger for 30 years. He used to work at one in Arizona. That was the last time he had Whataburger. And he got to have it the first time. I filmed it, and I have never seen a grown man be so happy.
Yeah, so we got there. HBO says it was glorious. Surprise, no CNN coverage of Doom. Exactly. So we got there Saturday night. When we got there a little bit late because we had the storm of the century between Muskogee and Tulsa. Friday night. So everyone was gracious enough to wait for us an extra hour to go to eat.
That wasn't my vote. I'm just saying.
I know it wasn't. And I told everyone, don't wait for us. We're going to stop by and get Whataburger anyway, so we didn't care. But yes, we get there. We decided to go to Whataburger, and so we're ordering food and all that. And we got this big table for all of us. Budget sits down next to me, so I get up real quietly and I walk over and I see one of the waitresses or people that work there, and I said, "Excuse me." She goes, "Yeah," and I said, "Do you have a bib?" And she's like, "I'm sorry." It's like a bib for like a kid. She goes, "No, we don't." She goes, "But we have like one of those clear aprons that we have to cook food with." And I was like, "Can I get one?" She's like, "Yeah, what's going on?" I said, "You see that guy right over there?" That's pointing towards Budget. She goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Will you drop it off and say something like, 'Hey, sir, we really appreciate if you wore this.'" So she comes over and she was like, "Sir, we noticed that you're a little messy with the food. Do you mind putting this on?" It was hilarious. And then they got me back at Texas Roadhouse the next night. But it was nice, like I said, just to be around everybody and being able to give someone a hug and say hi and actually see them, it was great. And then we saw Mark, like I said, with Umarex and Axion. We saw Stan with SS Bond. Stan and his buddy came out and eat with us Saturday night. It was just wonderful. It was
that would have came Friday if Clover would have mentioned Claremore in the text, apparently.
This is true. Yes,
I did mention Claremore. I did mention Claremore. I will show
he just
you the
misread
text.
it. He just misread it. Then,
he misunderstood. It was not my fault. But in all honesty, I don't know that they'd have drove out.
No, I don't think they would have drove anyways. That was too far from where they were staying.
For the record, I did ask Whataburger every time I go down there. I did lobby for them to build a Whataburger up here in Northwest Indiana or in the Northwest somewhere. When the lady came back, because I asked for her manager, she probably thought there was some griping going on. And I begged and I pleaded and I asked her, please do it. And the only response I got back from her is have an athlete do it. So if anybody knows like a real famous athlete, I'm gonna start pulling my connections and hopefully we'll have one built.
We got some connections to Pat Mahomes. I wonder if that's big enough.
Do it, please.
I can do that. I can make that happen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I can make the Whataburger happen, but putting a bug in his ear, yeah.
I mean, I know a big YouTube star, roll call. I can get him to do this for you. Ghost, can you please call Whataburger and see if they'll build one for roll call?
I can't even get one to build one in fucking Arkansas. What the fuck do I care about Indiana for?
Right.
I'll have you know, I was in Rogers yesterday, and there's a Whataburger in Rogers.
They do. They have one in
Bentonville
Rogers and Texarkana. It's the Fayetteville area. They have one up there. They have one in Texarkana, and supposedly there's a plan to build one this year in Little Rock where the new Bass Pro is. So I'm hoping. So Steven out there buy a special harness for my dog so he can carry boxes of ammo. So that's one of the craziest fucking things I ever saw this weekend. I forgot to bring this up. A lot of people have service dogs. I'm all for it. I think it's great. Service dogs are wonderful. They do help a lot of people. That being said, saw a service dog this weekend. A little Chihuahua with the service dog vest on. Okay, sure. I'll give you a Chihuahua could be a service dog. Except the fact that it's being pushed around in a fucking baby stroller by the owner. And it had like the little, strollers that had that little table for the kids to put their stuff on. It had dog treats and all that on the table. This Chihuahua is sitting in a baby stroller being pushed around Wanenmacher by the owner, and I almost lost it. I should have gotten a picture of it. But yeah, that's just something it's what it is. But I had a great time. Travis out there, and he said he'll do some promo work for Whataburger. I'll shill.
He spelled it correctly too. Notice that?
Yeah, he did. He did see that.
Whataburger, baby.
I will do pretty much anything for Whataburger to get it here. I'm just saying, pretty much anything that's legal.
Yeah, all these guys are all spoiled. They're all spoiled from it. They don't understand the struggles of people up here. When I posted my stuff,
we don't have one.
That's simply not true. I resent that because we spent all weekend. Tulsa is one of the few places we can have Genghis Grill, and we did not have Genghis Grill the entire time. The opportunity
you guys went there on Sunday night.
We didn't have the breakfast place.
Sunday night, we were trying to get home, bro. That was not even close to a priority Sunday night.
So we didn't have Genghis Grill. We didn't have our breakfast place, which we will not speak the name
Krispy
of.
Kreme.
And we didn't have the Krispy Kreme challenge with the Wendy's Frosties.
Well, we didn't have.
We were
Krispy
just
Kreme,
down the street
period.
from Krispy Kreme, so you all just chickened out on that.
I also had so much food at Texas Roadhouse that I felt like a fucking blimp that night.
Yeah,
I loved every second of it.
that loaded sweet potato, man. Whoo, it worked on me.
Oh, those are good,
man. But it was worth it.
Oh,
Snob had too.
Yeah, y'all was lucky y'all won that air table because we couldn't get no damn rolls. Somebody kept hogging them.
I don't know what you're talking
Uh-huh.
about. You son of a-
We got
Clover and I ate about 90% of the rolls on our table.
Stan and my wife, his buddy Gizzard. I mean, yeah, they didn't eat much. It was pretty much me and you. I ate at least 8. I would say
I would say that's a fair estimate.
8.
Fair estimate.
I quit counting after 6, and I'm sticking with that.
Yeah.
You also took a bunch home with you.
I did, and what's bad is I forgot about them. So
No.
Oh, that's bad.
I will say this: when Snob picks a restaurant, this one was okay, because
Right.
when I tried to order my beer for some god awful reason, they did not have my beer. They ran out of beer. How do you run out of beer?
Okay,
You cannot run out of beer. You cannot
we're-
run out of beer when I sit at a table.
Since we're dogging on Snob picking restaurants, okay, I will give you that. Decent, right? He hasn't redeemed himself yet.
This is
but
a
decent.
chain. We know
Here's
what
why.
we're getting with Texas Roadhouse.
Well, that's first of all. But here's the other thing: is I did not get my fries with my order.
I mean, to be
because
fair, that's
I should have
your
had.
fault.
I should have had fries, and they didn't bring them out, dude.
You should have said
You should have
something.
mentioned it. 'Cause they
Okay,
forgot
but they
safety.
still forgot them. They still forgot them. That
You only
doesn't
had a crowd
negate
of
the
12
fact
people.
They forgot them, right?
They even brought me ice cream with chocolate
Hey,
syrup. on
We're
it, so-
glossing over the most awesome part. We're glossing over the most awesome part of the trip to Roadhouse. That was the goose in the parking lot.
Oh, no, I forgot about that.
Goose.
Goose in the cold. He's in the
Oh,
Coles
yeah, that
parking
was
lot,
a good one.
technically.
Oh, Maverick. We saw Maverick in the parking lot. It was a big ass goose that was
Hey.
just chilling, man.
And did you see when we left? When we left, anyway, that sucker was in the middle of the parking lot, laid down. I guess he lives there. I don't know.
He don't give 2 craps, man. It's
So-
like cars had to go around him.
Weird question. We're just having fun tonight. So, guy in the comment says, if each nationality had a dog breed, what would it be for the U.S.? I said lab. What would be like the American dog? Like if everyone could pick a dog, like when people think of American dogs, I think lab maybe. What do you guys think?
That's a good question.
That's what I got, a lab mix.
Well, I
Yeah.
got to meet Mystic's Beagle Friday on the way
Beagle's a
down
good
there.
one too. A
So-
Beagle is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's more German Shepherds in America than in Germany, but I would still say I obviously got the word German in it. But I would say lab. A Beagle's a good one too. Beagles are really popular.
Let's just Google it and
Poodles?
see.
I don't know.
What is America's dog breed? Dog. There we go. I mean, technically, America's dog is the American Bulldog.
Oh no shit!
He's a descendant of the Old
Oh,
English Bulldog.
Netflutter says the same thing. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Belgian Malinois, great dogs, but it's got the word fucking Belgian in it. So
Yeah.
you know, just
11
like
truly American dog breeds.
I didn't think about the American bull. It's got the American.
The
in
number
there.
one, well, the number one dog in America is a lab.
Yeah.
That's the number one dog in America. It's not like the national dog, but as far as number one dog, it's Labrador, according to Google.
So that would be, and I mean, when I think of dogs in America, I think labs. You can throw a golden retriever and all that, but they're all like the same family, but a retriever. But yeah, I would just say
Retrievers number 4. What I'm looking at, lab is number 1. A lab is it says retrievers, Labrador. Then it says French Bulldog at number 2, German Shepherd at number 3, which is weird because it's got German, and then retrievers golden.
And then you said French Bulldog was too. It's got French in it. So.
Yeah, right. So labs, labs and golden retrievers, basically.
Pit bulls, is that kind of an American thing? You know, I don't know. But yeah,
Boston Terriers are.
Boston Terrier.
Alaskan Malamute.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Fantastic. Yeah.
American Pit Bull
Huskies,
Terrier.
I don't think Huskies is. I think Huskies is Canada because the dinner
Yeah.
night or whatever.
I didn't see Husky, but this one has American Eskimo dog. Like
Okay,
a white.
so is that like a Husky?
It's like a white Husky.
Okay, right on.
Chesapeake Bay Retrievers. Rat Terrier is an all-American dog. American Water Spaniel. Alaskan Malamute.
All right. AR double G's out there. What's up, homie? You got us right here as we're getting ready to hang up and say hello or say goodbye. But thanks for coming in. So let's do this. And what I want to do is I'm gonna start with Buck and plug your channel, anything you got coming up. But let's just kind of tell you what's your best memory of the weekend. So I'm gonna start with you, Buck.
The best thing I liked out the whole weekend was meeting everybody on the panel for the first time. I really enjoyed that, meeting a couple other people like Weston and Stan. Alpha 45.
I forgot 45 ACPUs out there. That's right. Yeah,
he was out there, and I really loved it. Y'all, if you ain't never been, I know everybody keeps saying it. Go to Wanenmacher. That's nice. That's great.
You gonna go with me again in November, bud?
I already made plans.
Right.
You gotta save him a seat.
What was so funny is we were driving, we were talking all that, and he goes, "I think I'm gonna start my own a second savings account up and put every week just put a little money in that and not touch it. And then when I have that ready to go for Wanenmacher, I was like, that's
he's gonna walk in. He's gonna walk in with 100,000 next year because he's putting 90% of his check in that account.
He's like, bring it on, bitches! I got it all.
I'm gonna call by the Model.
I hope that $35,000 gun is there because I'm gonna buy that stuff.
There you go. There you go. Hey, offer him 20.
Yeah.
And then sell it and then flip it for 25. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of one weird thing I seen up there, this guy was crazy. Yeah, the guy was looking at a gun and he took a handful of money, just laid it right there on the table.
He did.
$100 bills.
Yeah, a big
and
old
that stack was probably about 2 inches thick.
I got that beat, dude. I seen a guy with a stack of money that had to have been every bit of probably 5 or 6 inches thick, and all I seen was $100 bills.
Yep. Yeah, and he wasn't putting it there to pay for it. He just was setting it down, looking at a gun.
Yeah, this was rubber banded, at least, like I said, at least 5 or 6 inches thick, and it could have been a few hundred, or some ones or 20s or something, but looked like all hundreds. It was crazy.
Yeah, you don't want to carry all hundreds though, because then whenever you get somebody come down on the price on the gun, it's kind of embarrassing whenever you have to actually ask them if they have change for 100.
Yeah, but if you're buying,
I thought I had that.
Yeah, but if you're buying that expensive of guns, does $100 make that much of a difference anyway?
True, that is true.
They round down to the nearest 100 like we would round down to the nearest $5 or something, probably.
Yeah, it was so funny because Snob was saying that he got someone from I'm just used to throwing numbers up, like from 400 to 320. And then had to give him 400. Weston says, I wonder how much money changed hands there. I don't think there's any way to know how much revenue was done this weekend. There's no way to do that. But
millions upon millions.
Tens of millions probably.
Oh, I had to be. Yeah, there's no telling.
Yeah. No telling. Bring roll call in, and I want to say this is he's not going to give the farm away tonight. But all I got to say is I want you to plug your show tomorrow night. If you're ever going to catch a rants and rave tomorrow night, just might want to be the night, because it's not just about Wanenmacher. They had an experience Sunday night that will probably take up a lot of the rant and raves. But real call to bring you in. First of all, nice seeing you again, bro. What's the one thing that you're going to remember from this weekend?
All right, man. So first of all, I want to start off by saying it was great to see you guys. I mean, I'm glad in my lifetime that I've met you guys all through the years. It's always a pleasure meeting you guys. I have a lot of respect for everybody on this panel and the majority of people in life, except for Joe Biden. But it was really, and all the people that come along with that dickhole. But everybody else, out there, I enjoyed meeting people walking up to the table. That table's there for a reason. It's to create a conversation. And I greatly do appreciate what you guys bring to the table. Second of all, when I got home here, rookie mistake, knock on wood. If you're going to do this kind of YouTube stuff, please check your cameras. My interviews had no sound. So unfortunately, I'm not going to have any interviews.
I feel your pain.
So
can you not use some pictures of them for B-roll and just kind of? Oh,
no,
man,
I mean, I can do pictures because I took pictures of these people's products, but the interview, no sound. I don't know what happened with my GoPro. I honestly, this is the first time I've had one, the first time messing around with it. So I have to throw that out there now that I greatly do appreciate getting the media pass and all that and the privilege to be there. But unfortunately, all my interviews are scrapped.
That's
so there's going to be little bits of stuff that come out from me. So again, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't go back in the past. I'm not Doctor Strange, but you know.
Well, you're strange. You just haven't gotten your PhD from it yet.
There you go. But man, I don't know what to say. It was a fun weekend. We're gonna have a great show tomorrow night on Rants and Raves. It's gonna be really cool.
Be ready to laugh.
We're eclipsing some. Well, if you go look at those videos that we posted, we'll be eclipsing some milestones on the channel here come sometime or another. But it's a great experience to go down to the show. It's a great experience to see you guys. It's almost felt normal to a certain extent until I came back to Indiana. So
is the budget going to ride shotgun tomorrow night with you?
If he wants to come on the show, I don't know. He's got a squirrel problem. If you looked at his video,
I saw that.
We went from one of the shittiest places that you could, if you attempted to lay your head down to come home with a bunch of squirrel problems. So I don't know. We'll find out. But what was the question again? I'm off on a tangent. Welcome to Ransom.
No, I was just gonna say if budget's gonna, but yeah, guys, tomorrow night is gonna be epic. First of all, so I was watching Sunday night after you guys left the murder motel, and you guys went live. And I literally had a stitch in my side laughing, not because of what happened. I was laughing so hard at listening to Roll Call laugh.
I honestly thought Roll Call might die from laughing so hard.
I did too. And my wife is rolling. She has no idea what's going on. She's rolling, listening to Roll Call laugh. So it was the greatest entertainment of nothing but just laughter I've had. It was good. It was good to laugh, first of all.
I looked at that guy like after everything was done, and I'm like, dude, I don't want us to have to stop at the hospital if I break my spleen or something goes bad in this old body of mine. I'm like, dude, you need to just shut up about this stuff and let me, digest this. I can't stop. And then I woke up this morning and I watched a small portion of that video. And I ended up going back to how I felt sitting in that seat. And I had to turn the shit off. Dude. I'm like, I gotta get shit done today. And I kept it, man. I'm telling you, when you go and do these things, and I'm not sitting here saying it's the greatest thing in the world, blah blah blah, but you will have experiences, whether it's meeting people on the panel or experience that gun show. And I looked at budget with a straight face and said,
"We're an 18-hour, drive. That's an experience in itself,
Yeah, I looked at him. I said, "We're making memories, dude. You got to remember this one," because I thought I'm either gonna have a split open chest from laughing too much, or this cat's gonna have a heart attack driving 90 miles an hour trying to get away from that place. But
he was trying to get to East St. Louis just to be in a better part of the world.
Yeah, dude, this guy did. I was like, well, we could stop at the hotel over. Hell no, I'm getting away from here. Everything's contaminated.
Yeah, I'll go to Super 8 East St. Louis before I go to that place. Good Lord. Yeah. No, and that's the great thing. Go ahead. Go ahead, bud.
I just said stay tuned for that, man.
Oh.
We'll be reviewing. You'll see this stuff again. I'm so disappointed. I I should have stopped and thought about it, sat at the table, reviewed my footage, did things like that. But I mean, unfortunately, there's just not, I'm not going to be able to go back and
Listen,
fix this
it is what it is. Yeah,
Thanks
lesson
for
learned. It's just, oh yeah, absolutely, bro. That's the one thing about Wanenmacher or NRAM or USCCA, especially SHOT Show or whatever. It's not necessarily what happens at those shows or whatever. It's what happens after hours and the drives up there, the dinners and everything. It's the memories that you make. Yeah, the shows are great. I'm not going to walk away remembering much about the actual show 6 months from now, but I'm going to remember what happened at Texas Roadhouse. I want to remember what happened with Roll Call and Budget driving home. I'm going to remember all of this stuff. That's where the memories are. And that's the great thing about going to these events is you get to hang out with your buddies for a weekend and make more memories. So that's really what it's all about. Bring Snob in and plug any information. You had a craft holster video come out today, which is awesome. Do they make that in a vertical, by the way?
Yes, they do.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Anyways, got there to your comment.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Go ahead and plug your channel, anything going on, but kind of say what was like the best thing for you, the memory that you're going to take away with you from Wanenmacher this year.
Well, I had a lot of fun at the show, and I feel Roll Call's pain because I had my high-dollar microphones on my brand new GoPro 9. I forgot. I've used my GoPro 9 a bunch, but I always use it for B-roll. I've never used it with the mics. I never set it up to take the line in for the mics. You have to go in there and change one little setting. I never did it. I recorded the video with Don Spencer of OK2A, or Oklahoma Second Amendment Association. I tested it first, listened to it on the GoPro, but the GoPro audio doesn't sound that great anyways, just listening to it through the GoPro. And I thought, oh, that's good. I listened to it after I did the interview, listened to the whole thing. Sounded all right, but it's loud in that show, and I'm just holding it up to my ear. I get home, realized my mics were not hooked to my camera the setting was not correct. And it did not record into the camera because I forgot I'd never used that camera before because I forgot we hadn't been having shows. And I bought that camera since anything. So I was thoroughly ticked and could not get good audio out of it, but at least it was usable, unlike Roll Call.
It sounded fine. I mean, it sounds like any other show's audio,
It just sounds like you don't have mics, and you know how they sound. They sound terrible compared to whenever you actually have good mics and can get good audio. And that's why I bought those mics. And then I do something stupid like that. But you live and learn. It'll never happen again.
Guaranteed. Here to live and learn.
But my memory from the show was you putting in Armenthia's stupid hair tie and filleting that stupid fish. It was the dumbest thing in the world, but it was great.
22 Hipster made an appearance. Met that dude. Yeah, some people got to meet 22 Hipster today. Yeah, that
and Roll Call being upset about having to jump out of the third story window. Those two things were my.
That 5 minutes was hilarious. Of just. It's late at night. We're just happy to be there and see each other. And it doesn't take much to go on a rant. And it was hilarious. Roll Call and Clover were there and Buck was there Saturday night. We got interrupted by a zombie during our conversation outside the hotel. How that dude parked the vehicle that we saw the next morning perfectly in the condition. The dude was so drunk he could not literally move his mouth to talk. But yeah, I forgot about that. There was so many good things that happened this weekend. But yeah, it was good to see you, bro. I know that you had a long drive to and from, so
it was rough.
But yeah, it was great. I can't wait to see you guys again. Tell Stacy once again that thanks. It was good seeing her as well. Bring in Gary. Gary, plug anything about your channel, what information, what videos you might have coming up. But I want to ask you the same thing, man. What's the one memory you're going to take from Wanenmacher this year? And I hope it wasn't Saturday night.
It's kind of hard to pick one. I mean, I can remember the feeling of walking into the show and walking back towards where I knew our table was and seeing Scott at Celtic Holsters, which I got to shake his hand as soon as I see him. but just to look in both our faces is like, thank God.
It's nice to see you. Yeah.
Yeah. And getting back to the table, it's like, I'm home.
Right.
I've been to 5 straight Wanenmacher shows. I really missed the last 2, and it was really great to be back. But all the little things like Snob trying to direct me to a parking place outside of Texas Roadhouse. And
Gizzard was beside himself that night.
and
especially when he did park one, and then right there up front, another one opened up right as he was walking towards us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Gizzard was as wound up as Budget in Gizzard's world.
Probably for a few seconds there. But everybody's standing outside and talking while we were waiting, watching the goose and just about everything you could think of. I had a little bit of a pain issue, and somebody was nice enough to go get me some medication. And of course, some other people took advantage of his absence. So in a way, I helped facilitate that. So you're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Free ice cream, right?
Free ice cream. It'll be all the time. I'm the last person you want to try to play a prank on because I'll go with it and have fun with it. But I had fun with it. And yes, I got free ice cream. So it was wonderful. And to everyone out there that spent the rest of the weekend wishing me a happy birthday, it was not my birthday. It was a joke. But thank you for the birthday wishes. It's coming in a couple weeks, actually a week or so. And so I'll just take them as a preemptive happy birthday. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I saw her and I was like, oh, hell no.
See, Buck, you weren't wrong. I mean, you weren't really lying to her. He probably won't eat at Texas Roadhouse again before his birthday.
It was definitely the last time we were going to see each other before my birthday, so we can call it that, sure. But no, I had fun with that. Yeah, go ahead, Gary. Sorry about that. That was fun.
But just every experience you could think of was great. And if you ever get the chance, you gotta come to Wanenmacher. You won't regret it. Come in, meet us all, get involved in all the hijinks because there'll be plenty of it. I've been to 5 shows, like I said, and every one there's certain memories about some crazy things that might have happened. And so it's a great time. As far as my channel goes, I only got 2 videos recorded. I put them both out on Saturday. I think quite a few people have watched them, so thank you. But I wanted to do more. It didn't work out. But I've got plenty of pictures to put on the Instagrams and stuff like that. So, and some cool things I bought that I'll be showing you. So anyway, thanks for the invite, and let's do Wanenmacher again in November. I'm ready.
Absolutely. Yeah, Budget's out there says sorry he couldn't hop in. Yeah, no worries, bro. I know you're busy and you got stuff going on. Probably getting a little 22 going after some squirrels apparently. But yeah, it was great. Now, if you guys are interested, go over to our Instagram, and I'm not going to tell you how we got it. There might have been some interesting ways of how we got it, but we were able to get some security footage of Roll Call and Budget at the Bass Pro Shop in Springfield on Sunday. So you might want to go check it out.
Man, he said no stones. He said no stones if you don't do it.
Hey, was that before the motel or after the motel?
That was before.
Yeah, that was before.
Thank God. Yeah, that was.
I thought it was after, and they were just taking a bath to get the stench off.
It makes a better story for sure. Wipe off the blood and get that stench off. Yeah, I mean that would have made a better story for sure.
I think we would have killed the fish.
I think there were probably already some dead fish in that room. There very well could have been.
There was something dead in there.
Smelled like dead fish anyway.
Yeah.
So HBO said the hottest item of the show was a micro-aroni. Man, I saw
everywhere.
Both of those. They were everywhere.
Yeah.
And I almost bought one. I'm not going to lie. I was this close. If they were,
I've never seen that many before.
What's that? What'd you say, Snob?
Oh, I just said I've never seen that many before. I think I walked on both though.
They were everywhere. There was one that had a really cool American flag on it. I was like, man, they had some really cool stuff. But yeah, they were everywhere. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Bring in Clover. He doesn't have to promote anything because he doesn't do shit on his channel, but
Nope.
can you at least talk about maybe what your best memory or what's a good memory that you're going to take away with you?
Well, nobody has mentioned this so far, so I just want to say, if you're
Uh-oh.
out
There's
there,
so many things, so yeah.
if you're out there and you have the opportunity to attend this show, you should do it. Nobody's mentioned that yet. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
just
We've
say
never
that.
said that. We don't want anyone else to go.
The best memory? Oh man, there's so many.
I know.
What do you now? Now I'm a little bit perplexed at roll call stalking me through the hotel window. I don't know what's up with all that stuff, but that worries me that apparently.
Well, you're also the one that told him that he could jump from a third-story window and that the bushes would save him. So
Yes.
maybe
I told him the trick
They were
is
small
that
bushes.
I told him the trick is that once you fall out the window, you have to go limp. No, you have to. That's the key to it.
This guy's wanting me to have squirrel wings or something.
we just wanted to see the rant and raves of you and traction in the
Well, that's
hospital.
okay. Well, that's okay
Shit on
because
people.
when we were having that conversation, we were standing by that exit door, and homeboy slings the exit door open, which knocks over my drink, which almost gives the mogwai wet. So we almost had a gremlin problem this week.
Almost had a gremlin problem.
Oh! I forgot something. I got to butt in. My memory from this show was seeing Clover and Ghost fight like a married couple over the TV and the bathroom light.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a deja vu.
I'm glad it was fun for one of us. That's all I got to say.
Oh man, yeah. Man, my favorite memory. All of those. I mean, everything was great. I think that the memory I'm going to take back is it's been over a year since I've seen anyone, and my memory is just being able to get out and see everyone. Everything everyone else said, that's part of it, but none of that could happen if we didn't have Wanenmacher and we weren't able to see everybody. So the best memory for me of the weekend was just being back to somewhat normalcy. Was awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. So if you've never been to Wanenmacher, go to Wanenmacher. They have them every April, every November. It's the second weekend of April, the second weekend of November every year. It is so worth it. But yeah, it was just wonderful. Everything about it, there was not the only bad thing about it was I had to put Buck on tornado watch in the car Friday night. That was the only downfall was we were having to decide if we were going to build an arc to get the rest of the way. But it was awesome. It was awesome seeing everybody. I'll even take the television being on at 2:30 in the morning. I'll even take it. Why? Because it's been over a year since that's happened, and it was okay to me. But no, it was great. I can't even think of anything else to say except for it's awesome. Anybody have anything that last minute that we forgot to bring up that people might want to hear?
Yeah, the look on Clover's wife's face when she found out that patch belonged to me instead of you.
Oh God! So forgot about that. So we're out and about, and Armenthea was at the table, and I come back, and she goes, "Hey, hope you don't mind, but there was someone that wanted a patch of yours, and so I just took it off your bag." And she's pointing to this bag, and I said, "Well, that's not my bag. That's Buck's bag." Luckily, I had an extra pack in my bag to give back to Buck. But yeah, she just straight up took a Ghost Tactical patch off of Buck's bag and gave it to some dude, thinking it was my bag. But that was pretty funny. That was like I said, the weekend was filled of little funny things like that for sure.
The look on her face was priceless.
Yeah, she was like,
I want to give a shout out to all the people that took Roll Call 209 stickers and Rants and Rage stickers. I came home with 4 apiece. So hopefully you're not going to ruin your lives when you watch my show, whether it's the old stuff or the stuff we're going to experience here down the road. But always stop in there at the table down there and talk to these guys. I greatly do appreciate that stuff.
I can't wait. I am looking so forward. I've got a board meeting tomorrow night that I will make sure that some bitch is over with so I can tune in to Rants and Rave. So
You do not want to miss that dumpster fire tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow it might go down. Hey, I'm sorry, Ro, for building this up. I want you to take a few extra shots of something before you go live. Tomorrow may very well be the greatest live stream in the history of YouTube. Just saying. Check out Rants and Raves tomorrow night.
Don't worry, I'm not like the restaurant that runs out of liquor.
Right? Who does that, by the way? Yeah, who does that? So, guys, thank you so much for watching live. Appreciate you guys. If you're watching a replay, God bless you. Go check out Wanenmacher Tulsa Arms Show every April, every November in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It is definitely worth it. If you have any questions about it, get with any of us on the panel anytime. We would love to talk to you about Wanenmacher and the benefits of going and all of that. Budget says, Super 8 talk tomorrow. Yeah, damn Skippy. But yeah, the Wanenmacher it's got to be a bucket list thing. If you're even the least bit interested or even know what a gun is, Wanenmacher Tulsa Arms Show needs to be on your bucket list. So, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening replay. We appreciate you very much. We will see you soon. Semper Fi.